Once upon a time in the peaceful land of the Shire, nestled far from the eyes of the outside world, there lived a quiet and unassuming people called Hobbits. They were small in stature, never more than 3 or 4 feet tall, with round faces, curly hair, and a fondness for good food, laughter, and simple pleasures. Hobbits cared little for the grand adventures of the world beyond, preferring the safety of their green hills, burrows, and the steady rhythm of the seasons. One particular Hobbit family, the Bagginses, had lived in the heart of Hobbiton for generations. Bilbo Baggins, a well-to-do Hobbit who enjoyed his books and afternoon tea, was known for being respectable and predictable, just like any other Hobbit. Yet, as fate would have it, Bilbo had once embarked on a remarkable journey many years ago with a band of dwarves, changing his life forever. He returned with stories of dragons, treasure, and dark mountains, tales that both intrigued and frightened the hobbits of the Shire. But Bilbo had grown older, and the Shire remained a quiet place. Most hobbits had forgotten his tales of adventure, dismissing them as exaggerations, content to focus on their gardens and gatherings. However, within the hearts of a few hobbits, a spark of curiosity still flickered, though they were loath to admit it. Among these was Frodo Baggins, Bilbo's young cousin and heir. Frodo, though as unassuming as any hobbit, had grown up listening to Bilbo's stories of distant lands and perilous quests. Something about those tales stirred a deep, quiet longing in Frodo, a sense that the world was bigger and more mysterious than the Shire would ever let him believe. One warm autumn evening, as the sun began to set behind the rolling hills, Bilbo called Frodo into his study. The old hobbit, now nearing the end of his days, had a strange look in his eyes, both distant and urgent. "Frodo, my boy," Bilbo began, "the world is changing. I've kept something secret from you for a long time, but I fear the time has come to speak of it. There's something I must leave behind when I go." From a small chest, Bilbo withdrew a simple, unadorned ring. It seemed harmless enough, but as it caught the light of the flickering fire, a shadow passed over Bilbo's face. "This ring," he whispered, "is not what it seems. It's more dangerous than I ever imagined. I found it long ago on my adventure, but it holds a dark power." Frodo looked at the ring with growing concern. "But it's just a ring, isn't it?" "No," Bilbo said, his voice trembling. "It's the one ring, Frodo. The ring that holds dominion over all others. I should never have kept it. The longer I've held it, the more it has weighed on me. You must take it to someone who understands its power, someone who can destroy it." Frodo felt a chill run down his spine. The Shire was safe, warm, and familiar. The world Bilbo spoke of, the world outside their borders, was full of dangers he had only heard about in whispered tales. Yet there was no one else. Bilbo trusted him with this grave responsibility. Days later, with the quiet of the Shire behind him, Frodo set off on his journey, accompanied by his dearest friends, Samwise Gamgee, a stout-hearted gardener who had overheard the conversation and insisted on joining, and 2 mischievous but loyal cousins, Merry and Pippin. Together, the 4 hobbits ventured into a world they had never known, a world of dark forests, ancient cities, and forgotten kings. Though they were small and unskilled in the ways of combat or magic, the hobbits soon found that their greatest strength lay not in power or wealth, but in friendship and loyalty. Sam, with his simple wisdom and unshakable loyalty, became Frodo's most trusted companion. Merry and Pippin, though often getting into trouble, proved their worth through bravery and quick thinking. As they journeyed further from the Shire, the hobbits realized just how vast and perilous the world could be. But amidst the dangers, encountering elves, dwarves, wizards, and even the dark riders of Mordor, the hobbits learned something profound, that even the smallest person could change the course of history. Their adventure would take them far from the Shire, to the lands of Rohan and Gondor, through the dark paths of Moria, and even to the very heart of Mount Doom. The hobbits, who had once been content with their quiet lives, would come to play a vital role in the fate of Middle-earth itself. Yet, even after all the battles fought, all the dangers faced, the hobbits never forgot who they truly were. For in the end it was not power, armies or great kings that saved them, but the strength of their hearts, their love for home, and their unbreakable bond with one another. And so when their journey finally ended, and peace was restored to Middle-earth, the four hobbits returned to the Shire, not as conquerors or heroes, but as the same simple folk who cherished good ale, warm hearths, and the quiet life under the stars.